to United Inventors Association workshop series. We've got an awesome show today. We are going to be doing some pitching. The hardware show has been canceled, but we're turning it back on. Let me bring you over to my co-host, Mr. Warren Tuttle. Warren, what's going on, my friend?
Hi, Carmine. Everything's great. How you doing?
Doing good, doing good. It took a little bit getting this set up, but we got some great products to pitch today.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. This is great. This is week 4 in our 10-week series, United Inventors Association webinar series, educational series. Once again, for those who are new, the United Inventors Association is your national 501c3 nonprofit inventor organization. And we are featuring a lot of our board members and ambassadors, of which we have many each week. We've had some great topics so far on fundraising, on PR and social media. This week, very appropriate. Under normal circumstances, we would all be at the National Hardware Show, where the United Inventors Association teams up with America's best show company, Reusable, who host it in Las Vegas. We've done it many, many years. I think we're in our 14 or 15 year. And the Inventor Pavilion there, called the Inventor Spotlight Pavilion, is the largest inventor booth pavilion in the country now. So we have some great pitch people to come on who have their products, inventors to have their products. We're going to get to them. We're going to introduce our panel. We have 3 great experts today. We've got Michael Miller, we've got Tom Gray, we've got Scott Hynd. We'll let them introduce themselves in a second. But before we get there, Carmine, I wanted to say hi to Rich Russo and introduce Rich. Rich runs the hardware show for Retractable. Hi, Rich.
Hey, Warren. How you doing, Carmine? Thanks for having me back.
Oh, awesome, man. Thanks for coming on today.
Yeah,
absolutely. Well, let me just tell you how excited I am to see some of these pitches. The National Hardware Show has long been a supporter and a partner with the United Inventors Association, and we are so thrilled that we're able to be a part of this. It is unfortunate that we're not all face-to-face at the National Hardware Show in Las Vegas. The show has been rescheduled for September 1 to 3 in Las Vegas. So again, we're fingers crossed that we'll all be in a much better place by then. But in the meantime, I can't wait to hear these pitches. The community just amazes me every year about how they bring new products and innovation to life. And I am just so excited to see these pitches, and I hope you guys are as excited as I am.
And the great thing, Rich, is as we know from so many years, is that the Inventor Pavilion has really grown into one of the most exciting areas of the show, right? I mean, a lot of enthusiasm there usually. And
Warren, there is no doubt. I mean, I would honestly say that the Inventor Spotlight area of the show is hands down the most popular area for retailers looking to find products to bring to market, customers that are just looking for new innovation. And it just amazes me every year about the things and the products that people are bringing to market. So it's unbelievable.
Well, that's great. Well, we want to give a special shout out to the show. We all wish you were there. And I wish that I got my American Airlines reminded me that my flight was leaving on Sunday, even though it had been canceled. But we look forward to being there in September, hopefully, Rich, and for many years to come. And for those who are listening today that can't get to the show, or right now, obviously you can't, but maybe you'll come in September. Even if you don't have a booth, even if you're not pitching, come and see the show. Experience it, see what it's all about. Maybe you'll be a participant in future years. You know, it's really worthwhile.
I agree.
So before we also thank you so much, Rich. And before we introduce, because we have a lot of ground to cover today, our panelists again, let me also give a shout out to Kathy Kirk. Kathy is our United Inventors Association trade show director, and Kathy does so much work to put this event together. So Kathy, say hi to everybody and just tell them a little bit about yourself.
Oh, geez. Hi, guys. Okay, so I am the trade show director for the United Inventors Association. I spent 10 years of my career at the United States Copyright Office, so I handled a lot of litigation about copyrights. I spent another 29 years at the United States Patent and Trademark Office, and pretty much throughout that whole time, my job was helping inventors. So it's kind of a passion of mine. And working with the United Inventors Association just kind of went hand in hand. So I still love it. I still love hearing about everybody's great ideas and try to give you guys some guidance on, you know, how not to get ripped off, right things to do, how to get good information from the PTO, stuff like that. So, and I love doing the trade shows. It's always so much fun. So I'm glad everybody's here. Thanks for joining.
Kathy, thank you so much from the bottom of our hearts for all the work you do. You're invaluable to what we try to accomplish, and we believe that the trade show mission is a great educational mission, for the inventor community. So we believe in it, and I know we can't be there, but we're going to bring it to you the best we can today. So let me just quickly introduce our three panelists today who are experts. Michael Miller, why don't we start with you? Just real quick, your background. I know Michael's also the vice president of the UIA, so say hi, Michael.
Hi, how's everybody doing? Really looking forward to this today. And once again, just like everyone else here, Rich, wish we were at the show this week, but looking forward to September. So my job is I work for NCH Corporation, two different companies, Danco and LSP company. And I'm the director of product partnerships. And my job is to bring in new products to the company, essentially from outside inventors, outside companies. And so, and of course, my other part-time job here is being the vice president of the United Inventors Association. Once again, just like all of us on the team, very, very passionate about helping inventors. Whether it's in product categories we work in or not, it really doesn't matter. Great group of folks. So that's it for me.
Well, thanks, Michael, for all your volunteer work. And just remember, you're only a heartbeat away from being the president. So
yeah.
Literally.
I hope you're working out every day during this thing. I need you in good shape.
So I'd like to say hi to Scott Hynd, good friend Scott Hynd.
Hey guys.
Scott, say hi. And are you down in PA right now? Or?
I am in western suburbs of Philadelphia. A couple quick things. Nobody works harder than Kathy to make this stuff happen. I just want to echo those sentiments. She is just a monster when it comes to these things, and tireless efforts, and for very little, if any, money. So we love you so much. Second, Rich, I am so very sad to not be there. I've been at your show, I think 15, 16 continuous years. There are two stops on the circuit that you must go to. Housewares, hardwares. It is no questions asked. And I've spoken to your show many times. I'm so very sad to not be there. If it is the first week in May, I'm supposed to be in Las Vegas and not in Philadelphia, where it's supposed to be 38 degrees on Saturday. It's nonsense. So hats off. We look forward to seeing you in September. My name is Scott Hynd. I'm an on-air personality at QVC, or as of right now, an on Skype personality at QVC. So I've been doing that for 18 years. As I said before, I do not do this on looks. And I know you're thinking, why would I be on television? I got it. I've heard it all. Try being my wife. But I have presented a heck of a lot of products in those 18 years. And I want to say this not to pat myself on the back, but to explain why we're doing this. The product that holds the all-time sales record at QVC happens to be one that I presented. I was fortunate, but I don't say it to pat myself on the back. I say it because it was a single item that was invented by a man in Nashville, Tennessee. He was a one-off inventor. This was not a big giant conglomerate or some faceless corporation. This is one man, one very wealthy man now, but this is one man who did this, and it came out of a forum just like this. So this is why we do it, to help people not only be successful, but go the right way, like Kathy said. And as always, it's just a great honor to be here. Thank you, Warren.
That's great, Scott. And again, thanks for all your help. And Scott's been a great participant of the UIA for a long time, and also one of the great soccer players in Clemson University history.
I get better every time Warren introduces me.
Right up there with Deshaun Watson, the other player. Hey, and so now let me say hi to Tom Gray. Tom, come on and say a few words. Tom is the founder of Make 48, the terrific TV show, PBS TV show, which I had the honor of a couple of weeks ago being out in Kansas City with them while they were filming it. But Tom, how you doing?
Hey, Warren, Carmine, Kathy, thanks a bunch for having us here today. Again, yeah, Rich, we were looking forward to being at the show, so let's hope for September. The National Hardware Show is one of the best shows we've ever done and continue to do. Before Make 48, I was very heavily involved in products, licensing products from inventors under the Handy Camel brand. Supplied QVC, Home Depot, Walmart, Sherwin-Williams with products. So I've got some background, obviously, in manufacturing, distribution, marketing as well. But right now, Make 48 is sort of exploding. We were lucky enough to have Sam, who's on pitching today. He was a competitor in the last event. And we teach people very much how to do prototypes and pitches, which is the things that a lot of inventors need before you take a product to market. You often want to find partners or investors or manufacturers, whatever it may be. And you must have, in my opinion, you must have a physical prototype to make that happen. So excited to see what comes out of today. Love doing these pitch events, and thanks to the UIA for setting it all up.
That's great, Tom, and thanks for being
Thank
here.
you, Tom.
So we have three awesome panelists that have a tremendous amount of experience in the hardware space. They're going to give you great feedback and information. And this today is a panel to get educated. If anybody wants to get in touch with us, either you're in the audience listening, or you're in you're one of the people that are pitching as well. Reach out to us through the UIA, either Kathy at UIAUSA.org, or you can reach out to Carmine or to me at www.yahoo.com, and we'll get you in touch with the right people. All right, so without further ado, so Kathy, do we have is Bill on, our first person, or are we going to go right to Sam? Okay, all right, so Sam, are you ready to go? Sam,
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, Sam, we're going to start with you, and remember, you're on the clock. As soon as I say go, you got 4 minutes to pitch and then 3 minutes back. So we're ready to rock, brother. Go.
Got it. Okay, here we go. First off, quick thank you to the UIA board. Thank you for hosting this, the virtual event this year. And also, of course, Tom, Make 48. So I competed in it. And Team Invent Troy. Look for Team Invent Troy this September on PBS. Okay, now that's over with. Here, Father's Day is coming up quick. What are you going to get your father for Father's Day? Okay, well, it's a DIY kind of year. A lot of people are at home, so do it yourself. All right, so how about a stud finder? You want your father to hang a painting or a picture or whatever on the wall. Well, get a little stud finder, all right? This is a stud finder reimagined. This is a character, I call it the stud muffin, okay? It's a muffin that has a little magnet on the back, and it attracts to nails and screws in your studs in the wall, so you can figure out where the studs are in the wall. So the stud muffin, okay? I also have another rendition here. I call this the stud monkey, okay? I'll do a little demo real quick, just to illustrate how it works, because that's good. All right, here we go. So you take the thing and you wave it in front of the wall like that. Okay, until it'll find a magnet. It'll find a screw in the wall. There it goes. Okay, right? So there you go. It's stuck to the wall right where the screw is. Then you do that. You go up vertically to the next one until it clings to the next, right? And then so with that, you figure out where there you go. There's the next one down. So you figure out where the studs are in the wall with this little magnet. Really cheap to produce, and retail $4.99 to $9.99. There's this. Okay, I'll just stop there. Any questions?
Who wants to go first?
I'll jump in here, Warren, because I can be quick. It's a really cool product, a really catchy name. That's what I love. The hook, stud monkey, stud muffin. It's so funny. In our world, there are price points that are actually a little too low, and that doesn't mean it's a bad product. It's just too low of a price point for it to be profitable on television. Not that you don't have a great product, you do. It's smart. In our world, we would call it what's called a POP or POS, point of purchase, point of sale item. Meaning you're going through the checkout line like, ooh, what's a stud muffin? You grab it. It's not for serious construction people, obviously, but for the casual DIYer. Very smart, very easy to understand, simple packaging. You sell a ton of them at $3.99, $4.99, and there's a lot of people that made a lot of money doing what you're doing. It just wouldn't be something for my world personally, but I do love the idea, and I wish you the very best of luck. It's really cool.
Thanks.
Cool. All right, Michael, you or Tom. Go ahead, Tom.
Yeah. Sam, great name. There's no doubt. How busy is this space? How many other different variations? I know that we've got 2 or 3 stud finders thrown in boxes in our garage. How big is that market?
Sure, good question. So first of all, there's 2 main different types of stud finders. There's the electronic and there's the magnetic. This is a magnetic stud finder. For the magnetic stud finders, there's about 10 different competitors on Amazon. One of them is called CH Hansen, and I use this marketing tool called Jungle Scout, and they're doing about 10,000 a month in sales on Amazon just with the magnetic stud finder. And it's selling for about $7 or $8, and it doesn't, you know, it's like pretty boring. I got that somewhere here too. But
The other thing too, Sam, I would go ahead and make half a dozen of those and get them professionally 3D printed so you can hide the magnets so they look real. And then go ahead and just make some real nice prototype packaging. So I think it very much is an impulse item in retail. However, if you're going to make creative video and sell them yourself or through Amazon, you know, you can put them in an envelope, costs very low cost to ship that, because people only need to buy one. They're not going to buy a 2-pack or a 3-pack because there's no need for it. So I would go ahead and make, you know, half a dozen, make some creative packaging so you can show retailers if that's the case that's the way you want to show them.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question? Because you do a lot of this. You have IP concerns here?
It's like anything.
Replicability, you know what I
It's
mean?
like anything. Most products that are that cheap don't have IP protection. And,
Right.
you know, we've all seen the horror stories that Josh Malone's gone through. Even if someone does copy you, how are you going to stop them? But I think it's a product you can take to market and manufacture really cheap, make a really creative video and sell them online, sell them direct, and just see if people even buy them, right? Because it is very much a home handyman, home handy woman product. It's not a professional product. But you can go into business really cheap and easy with a product like this. I wouldn't worry about IP because, you know, how are you going to stop it anyway?
Yeah.
All right. Michael, you want to add anything or?
Absolutely. I'll add a couple things. First of all, Tom had some really great advice there. I would just say from the IP perspective, you might want to really look at from the trademark perspective on this one, because really your value in this product, especially if you do ever decide to license it to anybody or anything like that, unless you do have IP, it would be extremely difficult for you to actually license the product if that's a path that you're thinking about going down. The other would be from a packaging perspective. You know, packaging costs nowadays are just through the roof. It'll drive your price point to just no end. Something like this could easily have a very, very cheap hang tag on it, something like that, or possibly even incorporating the packaging into the actual product itself is a new trend that's been going on as well, where you make the packaging active to your product. So that would be something you might want to take a look at as well. But I love the concept, the naming of the product. All of those are really nice, unique features for it that could possibly get you that, you know, that sort of crowbar into the space there.
Cool. All right, Sam, great job. Oh, Kathy, Kathy, you want to come in at all or? Okay. Got to unmute. Kathy, got to unmute if you're coming in.
Carmine, there you go. Sam, on that note too, yeah, the IP aspect, there's probably not anything there patentable as far as the utility goes, but the fact you might also, the trademark is a good way to go, but think about a design as well. Yeah, the design patent would be very specific if those are the two magnets that you're going with. So keep that in mind.
thank you.
Yep.
Great job. And you can make one that looks like you. All right.
I'll make one that looks like you, Warren. All right. Custom.
I appreciate that. All right, great job, guys. We're off and running. So Sam, we're moving on, but stay in touch. All right. So do we have, is Chadley on? Chadley Guerrero? Chadley? Kathy, I can't hear you. So you're muted. Chadley's not on. Okay. Then if you guys don't mind, Renee, we're going to move right on to you. Let me make sure you're next. Renee Chen, why don't you come on? Can you unmute Renee Carmine?
He's on.
All right.
Okay,
Renee, you are up next.
thank you. Hello, everyone. My name is Renee Chen. I'm going to hold these pictures up. I hope you can see them okay. Oh boy, maybe I'll do it like this. Sorry about that. So, are you guys all tired of spending hours and hours of breaking your back, raking leaves every fall? And does this sound, the blaring sound of gas-powered leaf blowers, hurt your ears and drive you crazy? And do you struggle to fill dozens and dozens of unwieldy leaf bags? Well, I've invented a product that allows you to get rid of all three of these. It's called, can you see that? The leaf roller. The leaf roller collects leaves without raking, blowing, or bagging. It works using a leaf sweeper brush that lifts the leaves from the ground. Let me pull up a new picture for you. See if I can get this closer. Okay, let me start here. Give you a little idea. It lifts the leaves from the ground and throws them backwards onto a moving roll a moving roll of mesh. And the leaves then get wrapped up into the biodegradable mesh to form a leaf bale. And then that leaf bale can then be shredded for mulch, composted, or placed curbside for pickup. Now, there are dozens of products on the market today designed to make leaf collection easier, such as modified rakes, reduced noise leaf blowers, and funnels for leaf bags. Next picture. But none of those products none of those products bundle the leaves automatically. I came up with this product when after I went outside and I saw all these, when I saw all of these leaf bags all over the street. They were overfilled, fallen over, and spilling leaves into the street. I had a job where I had time to think, and I was able to fold Post-it notes. I was trying to come up with a new configuration for a leaf bag. And I also had a lint roller because I had black pants. And so I would marvel at the way the lint roller attracted every speck of dust, lint, and hair. And then one day I imagined leaves on the roller, and voila, that's how the leaf roller concept was born. Let's see. So the next picture will show you, I made my first prototype in my garage. I used a this is a garden wagon PVC pipe, and you can't see it very well here, but it's deer netting. And after proving that this basic concept worked in my yard, I hired a fabulous prototyping company.
How long is it for me to talk?
Called the prototyping company is called Empire Group, and the Empire Group came up with a breadboard model.
All right.
And
thank you.
I have video of this model working if you're interested.
Oh, sure.
Hey, Carmine, can you mute Bill's line, please?
Sure.
Bill,
Or Bill, could you do us a favor if you're on? Can you? Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there. Okay, and the Empire Group also created a CAD model for a full-scale breadboard. And right now we're in the process of working on creating the physical full-scale works-like prototype to check in the field.
Cool.
Now, the leaf roller is a truly innovative idea that will revolutionize the way we collect leaves in the future. Please team up with me to bring this to market so everyone can collect leaves without raking, blowing, or bagging. Thank you for your time.
Renee, great presentation. Way to use the camera.
Yeah.
Well thought out. So guys, who wants to go first this time? Scott,
I'm ready.
Go ahead, Tom.
Tom?
I'll go ahead because I know, Scott, you'll be the guy for this product. Yeah.
I just play in this space.
You did that presentation pitch, so well done. Obviously, a product like this to go into manufacturing is a fairly expensive thing, and what's been sort of helpful in the last few years is a lot of connection networks that we've built. And I think Scott will be great to look at this product once you've got a working prototype. Scott, do you think that this would be a great thing once you've got a proven model?
Yeah, no.
QVC?
Tom, you're so spot on. Here's the problem. I'll give you the good and the bad.
Okay.
I play in this space. I present outdoor products for a living. I love this idea. I love this product. I really do. I think it's fascinating. I want to know more about how it wraps up. If you can condense leaves down, it is a pain in the neck. You know, there's this sort of scale they call it from an itch to a heart attack as to what gets people off the couch to buy a product. This falls very close to heart attack. Okay, people hate leaves. That said, and I wanted you to hear that part first because it is a great product. You are swinging with the big boys. And I mean, it is, You aren't talking 6 digits, you're talking 7 and 8 digits to get into that market. And I represent one of the biggest, Sunjo, and they're good people. And I would say to you, that's the kind of company I'd be willing to put you in touch with, because it is really hard. I don't know your finances and they're none of my business, but the reason the Billy Goat for $800 to $1,000 or $1,200 is the standard is because that's how much it costs to make that kind of suction to suck it up and do it effectively. So I saw your retail was around $150. I've represented products that cost that and do what, roughly what you do, and they work okay. Okay. And that's not, and then they've sold and they've been fine, but those are from companies like Toro, Steel, you know what I mean? And so that's always the hardest thing about this is I really want you to hear the first part, which is awesome idea. Look into it, but understand what you're up against. This is not a cheap endeavor, and you are up against big, big boys in this industry. So, and especially in a time like this, and I don't want to keep bringing in the virus and all that nonsense, but you do have to look. The amount you're investing? Is this a licensing play? Get some IP. There's a lot of things you need to look at along the road to get this to success. Not that you can't, but it is going to take quite a bit of money, time, and resources.
I actually did send this idea several times to Sunjo and Snowjo, and I talked to 2 of their representatives at the hardware show and gave them my sell sheet. Just never, I was always told, well, they'll call you back if they're interested. So I tried.
Do you need me to call Joe Cohen? Is that what you need? You need me to call Joe Cohen?
Don't tempt him.
I sold $1 billion for that guy. You need me to call him? Is that what you need here?
I'm not going to lie to you. That was actually one of my favorite companies because
he's a great dude.
They have innovative products, and I really
Scott, awesome guy.
Scott, what's your email? What's your email, Scott?
It's finishedprototype@yahoo.com.
All right. All right.
Renee, I would also echo a lot of what Scott has said here as well.
Okay.
The thing though with this space, not unlike what he was saying, is the barriers to entry for a one-off product is, in my opinion, insurmountable for types of products. It would be my opinion on that. The other thing is for these types of products, the devil is in the details beyond a shadow of a doubt, right? We see a lot of these different types of things over the years. The real concerns of mine for this type of product, whenever you're talking leaves, is pine cones and other types of nuts and things like that on those and their ability to be swept up by the device and not be clogged.
Okay.
Number of them that I have seen over the years, that turned out to be their undoing. And actually, many of the products that you showed that would be competitive that are already in the market today, that's where they struggle. If you take a leaf blower and suck up leaves, everyone knows you'll break the plastic veins inside of a leaf blower if you go and start, vacuuming up nuts or pumpkins and things like that. So you'll burn the odor out. So
and if you use a metal impeller, there's different regulations because it becomes dangerous and speed.
Oh yeah.
There's all kind and Mike's hitting the nail on the head. We don't want to discourage any inventor, but man, you're up. They have teams of engineers working for them. And real quick, and I don't want to jump you, Mike, there's a great saying in the NFL when a team has a quarterback controversy. It's if you got 2, you ain't got 1. And that applies to a lot of products. And to his point, like the Toros of the world, they have the blower suckers. They do both okay, but not one great. And like I said, be careful of that if you got 2, you ain't got 1. But go ahead, Michael, I'm sorry.
Let me jump in. Thank you. We're way over our time, but I think what I'm hearing too, outside these experts, is building a functioning prototype is really critical to the process. So, hey, great job, Renee. Thank you.
Great stuff, Renee. Thank you.
Very good job, Renee. Thank you.
All right, now I think Bill just came on. Bill, if you can unmute, we're going to go back to you. And Bill, and I'm not sure can you pronounce your last name? XIA?
Yeah, XIA, Shah. Yes.
Hey, Shah. Hey, Bill. All right. Well, you're a little late. Usually we go on without you, but we're a good group, so we're going to let you on now. So,
well, I'm so lucky jumping on the board.
Well, you have 4. You weren't here in the beginning. You got 4 minutes to present, and then our experts will have 3 minutes to reply. So you're on, brother. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. What we have done is innovate and created the reusable alternative to cardboard boxes. I wonder that what's your experiences with the cardboard boxes? I mean, do you receive one and then open it up, and then what are you going to do with it? Normally you dispose it, or sometime, a lot of time, you try to recycle it. But anyway, our solutions is based on the innovations and design of the boxes. It's very simple to assemble and disassemble. It's very simple to assemble and disassemble. Very simple. And the advantages on this box design is you don't have to work on the bottom panels. So you save a seam to close, and then you also save a packing tape on the bottom. So you only works way up. It's one piece folder, and then it's very simple to assemble it and easy to disassemble and flatten and for next time use. And it's made of the fluted polypropylene sheet. And this box can be reused for 30, 50 to 100 times. And what we have done is, it's very hard to make innovation and changes on the regular boxes, because boxes only have 6 faces and 12 edges. The simpler it is and the harder it is to make the innovation and changes on boxes. So that's what we have done. We've been working on this for 2.5 years to 3 years now. And we've been through all the pivoting, product development and all this, and we are ready to launch it. But however, the coronavirus problem also delayed this process. But anyway, we have contact in major companies, or we have individual consumers' interest on this, and we try to launch it into the big retail stores. And some stores already got the intention that to put it next to the cardboard boxes on the shelves, so the consumers will have their preferences on the box versus the function versus the prices. So that's what we have done. We have other designs for bulk containers, so that's our specialty. But the smaller boxes like this, I mean, we're talking about in big numbers in the market. So it's used for the individual consumers, e-commerce, the supply chains, because supply chains can deliver the box, and then with the product, and on the way back, they can bring back the previously delivered emptied flattened box back and then reuse them. So that's our products and the market for us as well. Yes.
Cool, Bill, thank you so much. Good job, nice job. Michael, you want to go first on this one?
I will. Bill, and I love the concept, but I've seen this product around for quite a few years, of the plastic box material and this type of plastic material. Maybe if you can help me understand, what is it about yours that's different than this type of material that I've seen in the marketplace for a number of years?
There are boxes made of the fluted polypropylene sheets. They were there, no problem with that. But the problem with those is, sorry about that.
I don't know, that could be a big order, Bill.
It was an order.
I know. Did he just decline Jeff Bezos? What are we doing here?
Well, we actually sat down with Amazon before. They do have the sustainable packaging team. So we had discussions on this, and then, you know, we supposed to meet this year, but everything was canceled. But anyway, you probably seen the fluted polypropylene sheet type of boxes before, and a lot of them, most of them actually, 90% of them. Oh my God. Sorry about that. Hello, Joe.
All right.
Who wants to go next?
Yeah.
Scotty, you want to go next?
Sure. So
we're getting in Bill's way.
So there's a term in my industry called breakage rate, and it's under a million other terms. It's just the term, the version I happen to know of. A breakage rate is the percentage of people that take coupons off of boxes, retail package, whatever, and turn them in. Okay, the same concept applies here. And the analysis is the breakage rate, which is to say the people that will actually take your box, reuse it, or get it back to Amazon, because this seems to be like a B2B play. Your breakage rate is how many people will get this back to Amazon and have them reuse it versus the cost versus the cardboard. I assume cardboard is much cheaper. That said, it would be all, we don't have enough time to get into that analysis other than to say you would have to be able to prove to an Amazon or to others that your breakage rate is through the roof. And I'll explain why. Several years ago, FedEx, in their packaging, came out with a reusable box. If anyone remembers it, there were 3 layers of seals on it. And you sealed the first one, and then the person that used it would tear it off and they could seal the next one and they could reuse it. Their breakage rate was somewhere around 0.3% of people using the box again, to the point where they completely discontinued the project. I'm not saying that's the case here, but it is very, very difficult to sell the idea of green and recycle and get people to up that breakage rate. That said, you are addressing a monstrous problem in retail right now. Cardboard recycling, like all of us would probably, I just broke down about 13 Amazon boxes yesterday. So, you know, you're addressing a problem, but you do have to change the way people behave to have it become successful, if that makes sense.
Hey, Bill, unmute. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, the reason for that is, I mean, we've been through a lot of discussions or scenarios in meetings with industrial people, particularly the sustainable packaging professional. And the most critical factor for the reusable boxes is how to return them safely and with very low damage rate. And that's very important. So right now we divide the markets and the customer sectors into, you know, the who owns the box is very important in the supply chains. If the manufacturer assume the P&G owns the box and then they deliver and then they get it back, deliver and get it back, they have the repetitive delivery and backhaul. That's the ideal use for the box. And the instruction manual and the process will guide the people to handle it with care. So that's the ideal way to do that. For Amazon, and you know, we talk with UPS sustainability people and the reverse logistic people, UPS and USPS. We actually talked with the sustainability, the VP of USPS. The problem with that is right now, because the quantity is low, because the consciousness about the reusability and the sustainability is low among people. So what happened is it's very hard to do the pickup from door to door. And people, whenever they have the idea that it's just a box, so what they do is without care, without, you know, they probably try to throw it away, they try to put it in the dump bin or recycle bin, but, you know, so that takes years to build up the people's consciousness and then be careful about the value. Okay, but however,
Bill, wait.
Yeah.
All right, I'm jumping in here. We can go on for another hour. We've got 5 more people behind you and to fit in on this TV show. So listen, great idea, big idea. Obviously, not something big. Obviously, the risks are bigger too. Stay in touch with us. You've got our email and contacts. If you want to talk to any more of these experts, we'll hook you up. And we'll let Tom start the next one. But I like all your trophies. If that's really not a green screen and a fake background, I'm sure your trophies back there too. So congrats. Okay. All right.
All right.
Thanks. Good. Stay in touch. Thanks. All right. Good job. Okay, folks. Now, Kathy, do we have, is Chadley on with us now? Okay. We're going to get Chadley Guerrera back on, if I pronounced that correctly. Chadley, can we unmute Chadley?
All set.
Chadley, did I pronounce that properly? If I didn't, I apologize. Are you with us? Hello. Chadley, we're not hearing you too well. Can you speak a little bit?
Just a little bit better.
Oh yeah, that's a little better. So I don't know if you heard us before, but Charlie, you got 4 minutes to pitch, and then our experts will give you 3 minutes to reply. So
Sure.
you're on, brother. Thank you.
Sure. So first, just wanted to apologize for being late. Kind of balancing work as well. But just to tell you a little bit about me, I'm somebody that really loves martial arts. I love the discipline of it. I love the fact that it levels the playing field for the underdog. And I love the fact that it helps you to be prepared for a variety of different situations. Something that I started working or training in is Kali, which is Filipino knife fighting. And I've noticed that in my class, there aren't a lot of women. And that's, I'm not cool. And see, I've asked a bunch of different owners of different dojos, and they have the same situation. And the few women that are in my class, they have an aversion to using knife tools and things of that nature. And that's across the board, even people that are trained in Kali. And I found that for several reasons, they're concerned with it. For one, they're concerned that a larger attacker might take the knife away from them and use it against them. It's uncomfortable to wear. Women have small pockets in their pants a lot of times, and it's uncomfortable, and they're worried that they won't have access to the knife in a self-defense scenario. In addition to that, a lot of women are moms and they have children around. They don't want that knife to be out and injure their children. So with those reservations in mind, I set out to make a knife that minimized the chance of accidental injury and maximized ease of use. And so what I came up with, I'm actually going to share my screen here. Okay, disable screen sharing. Okay, well, in any case, I have a 3D printed model here just in case. And this is a knife that has an embedded sheath and it's retractable. And the way that it works is you just squeeze these two triggers here and this sheath would be retracted and it'll expose the blade. What that does is it allows for a quicker draw, less, aiming to try to get the knife into the sheath. It's comfortable to wear. I included 2 clips here that you can have and wear on your pocket. And in addition, for safety, it also has a keyring lock that can be worn around the pinky or the index finger. And what that does is, if a larger attacker were to take this off, this actually comes off and it locks these triggers so that you can't retract the embedded sheath and expose the blade. And so the blade can't be used against the owner of the knife. And so with those things in mind, in addition, I haven't seen any knives like this out. I do have a provisional patent on it. And something that I focused on, this is actually a 3rd iteration of the design. Something I focused on was cost, because I want something like this to be accessible. And so I reached out to some manufacturers and I'm getting a price from $10 to $20 to manufacture this, depending on the type of steel that you want to use for your blade. And so at this point, I'm definitely looking for a partner at a larger corporation to partner with and get it commercialized.
Cool, cool. Well, nice presentation. Tom, why don't you take this one first?
Yeah, I think it's great to see that you're solving the problem. Well, we're actually making a product to solve a problem that you know of and you see happening in your business. I think that this obviously would be a very niche market. You're obviously going to probably target females, like you're pointing out. We're scared of the bigger knives. And I think the best strategy, I would say, would be, the females that are going to buy this knife are the ones doing the self-defense classes around the country at all different levels or whatever it may be. So, it's going to be a lot of word of mouth. You're going to have a lot of instructors and gym owners and whatnot, maybe be the distributors of the knives. So they're showing them, they're doing a demonstration to prove why it's a superior product out there. I would, if you're going to take it to market, whichever way, I would offer just one product. You don't want to be offering too many different variations of steel and different price points. It only gets confusing for the consumer. But to me, and not a hardware mass market product, because it's going to be really hard to educate someone on packaging, on how this product works and why it's so unique, but very much a niche market, direct to consumer. And like I say, the people running the courses, the self-defense courses, should be the ones actually being your distributor of the product, direct to the females.
Cool.
Yeah, just to jump on what Tom said, I don't know much about this. I can't fight my way out of a wet paper bag to start with, and second of all, I just don't. We don't play in this area. But to piggyback, I do have a wife and a 17-year-old daughter who I think about a lot. Is there a legal way to give them a something in self-defense? And I did look into maybe carrying in the car what's called an ASP, one of those retractable things. But in Pennsylvania, they're not legal. We're not allowed to have them. So I think that's an issue you face. But if it's legal, this is something I would consider and easy to use. I love that you said that it doesn't hurt the user. That said, I don't know much about it. But what I would do is the advice I give to people who have a very interesting product is I would start at a local gun and knife show. If there's maybe a regional one in the area you live. And I would go and try and get a little 10 by 10 booth to the point where you have a working sample. And if nothing else, show it to people, because those are the enthusiasts that'll be there. Show it to them, see what they think. And then maybe if there's a national gun and knife or self-defense show, get to the Inventors Corner there, go to that and just get that feedback, because I can't give it to you, but I do feel like there's something there. And I don't even know if Rich's show is the one. Maybe it is, but that's for sure what I would do if I were you.
Cool. Michael?
Yeah, actually, that's really great advice that Scott was giving you there. With not being able to see the actual details of how it actually works and all of that, just looking at the view of the item that you were showing, it looks like the actual blade that would come out was extremely short. Yeah, so for the uses that you were talking about, it seems like it was way too short for those. And so I think that, from a working prototype model, I think you need to look at that and see what the competitive products are, and then making sure that you're in line with those as far as the usability and the features and benefits that people using these are used to. And then great advice to go to the shows. It's even good if you can go to the shows, maybe not even at a booth, but just walking the shows and going and talking to the people at the show. Of course, once you've got your IP, firmed up and those types of things, and be able to show it around to them, and then just get a feel. Go to the local, places where they do this type of, training and that type of thing. And I think that would help with the, you to really help to get this design down even to a better state that more people would use across all different industries.
Hey, and Chadley, let me jump in here to end as well. I don't know much about knives in terms of defense. I always came from the school of thought to why don't you just move up to a gun, if I'm in a knife fight, I'm bringing a gun, brother. Anyway, having said that, here's what I will say, and I'm in the housewares business, and I work with the biggest cutlery company in the world. So if you want to catch up with me later, my email is www.tuttle@yahoo.com. That's 2 W's, tuttle@yahoo.com. And that is cutlery in general. And you seem to have a technology that might work for knives in the kitchen, to keep them safe for kids not to cut themselves. I mean, a sheath mechanism that could do individual knives, it's not just for defense, it's just for practicality. That's a much bigger market. And we call that tech transfer. That's taking your original idea. You may have a patent on it, and then you can use it for other things. So feel free to shoot me an email. We can talk back and forth, and you keep doing what you're doing. But if there's a reason for that, it might be of help to you. That's what I'll just say. So, good job.
Awesome.
Way to come on and get in front of us. I know this is not easy, so it's helpful. Thank you.
Cool.
Okay, we're going to move on to our fifth participant, who is it Neil? Or did I have that right? Neil Hadley or Neil Haley? I'm sorry. Is Neil on, Kathy? Is Neil with us? Neil Haley? Kathy, can you
right here?
We have Neil. Oh, there you are, Neil. Okay.
I'm right here. Sorry about that.
Oh, okay, you're unmuted now. Okay, Neil, you're on the clock. You got 4 minutes.
Okay, great.
You can see how strict we are, with all this. But about 4 minutes.
All right, yeah, just to give you a little background. So about a few years ago, my co-founder and I were moving into a new house in Richmond, Virginia, while in college at VCU, and we were trying to move a large sectional couch through a sliding glass door, and it just would not fit. And so at that moment, we thought there has got to be a better way to do this, but there really wasn't. And so we looked into the market and we realized there's really only two choices when it comes to patio doors: sliding or hinging for traditional doors. And so sliding doors are great because they offer homeowners an easy to use and energy efficient and affordable option. You can quickly slide the door open with ease, but you can't really ever slide the door completely out of the way. Hinging doors are often preferred since they're a little bit more luxurious and they provide the ability to open up completely and provide ventilation to the home, but they're much more expensive and they can't be installed everywhere like in a lot of coastal regions due to security and weather. And so what we wanted to do is create an affordable solution that combined the best features of sliding and hinging doors while eliminating some of the typically associated drawbacks to create the perfect patio door for any space and every place. And so what we've done is invented the first sliding and hinging patio door system. Our patented technology enables doors as well as windows to slide left and right, as well as hinge open. So some of the competitors have attempted to offer a satisfactory solution, but really have fallen short in checking all of the boxes for homeowners. For example, some of the newer doors are the folding wall and accordion type doors, which do offer flexible solution and ability to open up expansively, but they come at a much higher price point of an average of $1,500 per linear foot. And so what we want to do is create the best of both worlds within a traditional patio door package that can be installed in a framed unit within homes for new construction as well as residential. And it could also be used in commercial spaces as well. And so for homeowners, they love the ability to have the choice of sliding or hinging, and then also having that flexible space between the indoors and the outdoors. And architects really love the ability to have more of a universal design tool that they can really think more creatively when they're designing spaces. And then for builders and manufacturers, they just like the ability to offer this kind of unique solution and new function within the market. And so what we're trying to do with this is really create a new type of functionality and integrate this technology, which we have a utility patent on, into doors and windows in wood, vinyl, aluminum, as well as fiberglass. And so we're looking to work directly with the hardware manufacturers who provide hardware to the 1,000+ window and door manufacturers in the industry to integrate that into a variety of products. So I'll go ahead and give you a quick little demo on the model I have right here.
Okay, 1 minute.
And so I can just go ahead and I have both doors in sliding mode here, so I can slide them both back and forth easily. And then if I want to hinge it open, I can just do a quick flip of a switch and hinge the door open there.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
It's good stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so if you guys have any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Hey,
Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Miller.
Hey, Michael, before you go, one of the things we like to do, folks, is put you guys a little bit under the gun and give you the 1 minute and fresh, because part of the exercise here, the education, is to pitch in front of people and get a little nervous. So you did great. So Michael, go ahead, sir.
Absolutely. Actually, love the product. I just want to talk about the pitch real quick. There's certain products that you have to explain before you show the product. There's other products that it's much, much better if you just show the product right off the bat and then start taking questions. Your particular product, everybody knows how a sliding glass door works. Everybody knows how a window works. So you don't have to educate the public on those. Just show it. Just do the pitch. This is one of those sort of, where people do the whole drop the microphone thing. If you were to do this at the hardware show on the stage, you do the pitch and go, okay, what questions do you have?
Now, Michael, real quick, stay in your lane. Pitching's my department, okay? Residential construction is your department, all right? I didn't tell him how to build this thing. Now you go, all right? Come on.
Drop the mic.
I appreciate that, though. Thank you.
I think the key here for you, it's absolutely a play with the manufacturers for this hardware, and you need to make sure that you really have your IP nice and tight on this. That's going to be the key. There's been a number of different products over the years. And so I know there's a lot of IP around this area. So it's really going to depend on how strong that IP is.
Tom?
Yeah, totally agree with Michael. The industry is held very closely by several major manufacturers, and of course, doors and windows, etc., are all custom fit usually. Yes, there's standard sizes, but can you tell us more about the IP and what process you did for the viewers out there watching? Like, you know, you might not want to tell us the cost of what it costs, but you know, what did you do? Did you use a professional IP lawyer? Because like Michael said, the IP has to be so tight when you go to big corporations, because if it's weak, they often will try to find a way around it. They really do want that innovation, but don't want to work with you. So tell us more about the IP situation.
Yeah, so from the beginning, we knew that was going to be an important factor. And so we initially filed a provisional patent working with a lawyer here in Richmond. And then as we moved into the non-provisional patent, worked with a highly regarded lawyer that's internationally known out of DC. And so we've filed the PCT as well. And so we were able to now have a patent approved in Canada as well. So that one hasn't been issued yet, but is in the process. And what we're doing is trying to really create a portfolio of IP around this from the initial concept and into multiple iterations that could come down the road.
And Neil, let me jump in, because I know Scott's going to want to add something too, but and I've done this a bunch of times, licensing. So if you're going to license to a big company, I mean, you may know this already, but there's two approaches. One is an exclusive licensing deal for the highest possible royalty with one big company, hopefully the big dog in the industry, so you can do a lot of volume. But in your case, where it's a little bit more universally adaptable, you may want to look at non-exclusive licensees with a number of manufacturers, which means a lower royalty rate per, but a much wider berth on it. So just a suggestion too.
Oh yeah, thank you.
And I would just echo what Warren had said as well about the non-exclusive. What you can do is you can make people exclusive for very particular areas. So where you have companies that are very specific in doors, you can give them the door side of it. For companies that are very specific in windows, you could do windows. Companies that do even travel homes, so you can really go and make this, and you can also do it regionally as well. So you can even do, the patents for the international market versus the US market, and give yourself a number of different licensors who would license your patent.
Good idea.
That's a great suggestion.
Well,
Thank you.
I was looking on my other computer, just trying to find it. The only advice I would give you is the same I gave to Chadley in the last one, is either to go, once the IP is locked up, to go to Rich's show, or I believe the largest show, Michael's the International Home Builders Show, I believe in Orlando, is if they have an innovation.
Yeah, the
section, I would go to
International
that.
Show will be in Orlando this next year.
I was trying to find it. I
Actually, it
couldn't.
was in Vegas this past year, and it will be in Orlando, I believe, this year.
Got it. So, go find the guys like Michael. That's the only advice. Only other question I have for you, in Richmond, I was just there a couple months ago, Ardent Brewing or Triple Crossing, which one?
I would say maybe Triple Crossing, but it's tough, I'd say.
Yeah, they're both good beers.
Right,
And
absolutely.
I love to drink beer.
Yeah, and in regards to the trade shows, we did attend Glass Build America this past year, which is the big one for the window and door manufacturers. And so we made some great connections with hardware manufacturers and have been discussing some various partnerships with them since then.
It's a great product though. Like, I really don't know this market at all, and I don't want to be short, but boy, as soon as you did it, I was like, whoa, that's good stuff. Real good
I
stuff.
appreciate it.
All right, Warren, we got to move on, Warren.
Great product, great job.
Thank you,
And
guys.
the lesson to our audience, go to trade shows, please, please, please. Okay, no matter what anybody writes or says, trade shows are critical. Okay, we've got three more, and I know we're going to run a little bit longer than two, but we'll keep it moving here. Jesus Rodriguez. Jesus, can we unmute? And you're on.
Okay, thank you. This is I go by Jesse, by the way.
Oh, Jesse, sorry about that.
So that's my nickname, and that's how I can recognize whether I'm talking to friends or someone who knows me. But basically, thank you for the opportunity, and I want to show you something real quick. Has this ever happened to you? Okay, have you ever kind of gone to the store, pick up a gallon of milk, maybe pick the perfect fruit, get some bread or whatever, and you don't want to put it in the trunk, you don't want to put it in the back seat, you just want to put it right on the seat there, right next to you while you're driving. Well, that's what happens when you go and you have to stop really fast or turn really fast. That's what happens. Well, in 2015, that happened to me, and I almost got into an accident. So what was happening is I had the bag held by my hand, and I got out of the parking lot with the car and made a turn to the right, and I was accelerating. And as I was accelerating, the bags were moving a bit, so I kind of looked towards the bags, and I don't know what happened, but another car right in front of me kind of cut me off, and it took me by surprise, and I almost got into an accident. So that's what prompted me to look into, well, how can I make this easier? So I played around with bungee cords, and that worked for a little while, but it kind of looked ugly hanging on there. And so I kind of came up with, what can I do? And I used a retractable key ring, and that worked for a little while. So I said, well, isn't there something I can do to this? So I became and used AutoCAD or actually with SketchUp, and came up with this. So I call it B-leash, B for bag. So what this does, and I'm going to show you real quick here.
You just did a somersault.
Is it good now?
Yeah.
Okay. So how this works is you attach the upper hook right up to the headrest pole. So of course, this is the passenger seat. You're right next to it, sitting down. And so what you do is with the bags, you put it more perfectly on the floor here, right in front of the edge of the seat. And then you pull the hook, clasp it, and then you give a little tug, make sure those handles are firm, and then you lock it in place. And then when you're driving, this thing is being held by tension, gravity, and friction. So it uses friction on here to make sure. Now, I don't have any real heavy items here, but this thing would stay in place there while you're driving, and you don't have to worry. So it reduces distraction from driving. So this is a good product to have for anybody who's driving, especially kids or anybody who's shopping. Actually, I market to anybody who shops and drives. So that's the product. Currently, this is a prototype. Sorry about that. And where I'm at with this is I have a manufacturer in China that is sending me just last week is sending me the injected molded prototype. So I have it. This is how I'm going to first launch it as the standard. But I do have an idea of having these are all 3D printed materials. So I was thinking of having a larger button where you can advertise something. So you can have, smiley face or any kind of logo, Ravens logo or.
Hey, Jesse, I'm going to cut you off here, Jesse. Sorry. All right. So, because we got to we have a few more, we're running beyond time, but who wants to go first? Scott?
Tom Gray.
Tom Gray.
I'll go. Hey, Jesse, good job. I think it's actually quite genius. I've had that problem for a lot of the time, and I know my wife has as well. I think it's a great promotional product item. Like you were saying, a lot of companies would buy that as a giveaway. It'd probably be pretty inexpensive if you're mass producing them. So, State Farm, for example, could be giving them away with all their other crap that they give. The other thing I think is quite unique. Yeah, if it's going to retail, it's probably going to be more impulse buy. But maybe gas bottles in the back of a pickup truck, that's another huge thing. I know there's probably a bit of liability, but if you're holding it in place and it can't physically tip all the way over, I think it's really good. Even animals in the back of a vehicle, dogs, if you make a heavy duty version for pets, etc., I think that could have a really good market as well. But I think it's simple, easy to explain, and everyone has that problem, so well done.
Yeah, I concur with absolutely everything Tom said. Full disclosure, I do represent one of the largest players in this business. It's called High Road Organizers. They have a ton of these kind of products. There are a lot of others, Honeydew, a bunch of Lakeside, a bunch of them that do this kind of stuff. There is a market there, no question about it. These are widely popular products, both on and off of television and retail. Completely agree with Tom, POS, POP, point of purchase kind of thing. I love the ASI market for you. I love that market for you to go, like you said, private labeling, have them as giveaways. You don't exactly get every dollar out of it that you want to from a cost size, but you do the volume, and it's an easier market to penetrate than the other one. I will say, of all the ones I presented and seen, I've never seen the one with the retractable zip line. I do love that innovation. That is absolutely what sets yours apart. So I like it a lot. I think it's a great product, but I'm so with Tom on this. Just that I would go to that. It's the ASI show, I believe, is either New York or Vegas, which is that specialty licensing product kind of thing. I would get to that and get some people to stamp their logos on it, get out the door.
Cool. Michael?
Thank you.
I'll go with, just see with this particular product, there's an awful lot more uses than what you've come up with on this. And many of them, actually, I think you would have a lot more ability to sell a lot more products on that. So whenever you look, especially where I'm always working in the hardware, I see things like you hook this to the side of the ladder and you put your paint can and hook it to the other end, because now you can adjust it up and down. There's a whole lot of, and like Tom was saying, I was thinking of the pickup thing as well, is that, you're always trying to wrap things into the back of your pickup, plastic pipe or whatever. And so if you could hook it up to one of the sides of the holes in the side of the pickup and now wrap this around and tie it up, it's retractable. So I can see a number of different configurations. Once again, just like we've told a number of the other inventors, is the key to all of these a lot of times is IP. So there's a lot of IP in this space. So
right now I currently have a patent for that. I am pursuing other patents for now for certain other uses as well.
Cool. All right. Well, listen, great job, Jesse. Guys are excited about it. So
real quick question before we go. I'm sorry, Jesse. Do you have any kind of weight limit or tensile strength testing on it? How much you can hold?
So I haven't done any actual testing on it because I'm waiting for the actual product that's coming up, because I can't do the testing on the 3D printed mold. But I do intend to do some testing. I told the Chinese factory that I wanted it to be able to handle 3 gallons of milk. So they kind of calculated something in the
25 to 30 pounds.
Correct.
Okay. So, and real quick, I'm sorry, just because I do like the product, the uniqueness of your product is that retractable zip part. I want to be clear about that. There are a million other products that hold grocery bags in your car. What I've never seen before is that zip part. So I'm very much with Michael on that. Focus your IP down on that. That's where you're gonna, cash in.
Thank you.
Great job, guys. Thank you kindly. All right, we're doing great. We're right a few minutes behind, but we're gonna stay in there till the end, guys. It's a free concert. We're going to the end. So we've got 2 more. We got the 2 Eddies that we're gonna finish on. And Eddie Cross, are you ready to go, Eddie?
Yes, I am.
All right, then you are on, Eddie. You got 4 minutes, Mr. Time Saver. I like your shirt.
Oh, thank you very much. I hope everybody's holding well with this COVID pandemic. So, is everybody familiar with air movers that they put on the floor to dry floors?
Sure.
My name is Eddie Cross. I'm the inventor of the Time Saver ducted floor drying system. There's no other ducted floor drying system on the market today. With the Time Saver ducted floor drying system on your side, your Patriots no longer slip and slide, because the Time Saver puts the air right where it's needed, at the feet of the Patriots as they are greeted. So don't let your Patriots slip and fall. Put the Time Saver ducted floor dryer on the wall. They read it, you said it, and forget about it. Bada bang, bada boom. I think somebody just slipped in a non-ducted bathroom. Gotta go. See ya. Bye-bye. But there's even more. 3 years ago, I come up with this idea. And it's funny, today I'm at a location and we have a major flood. So right now I'm in between the flood and this conversation. What makes my product so unique is my air mover comes apart like the portable units that goes on the floor. The patented ducted unit allows you to mount it to the wall. The ductwork is patented, issued patent. There's an issued patent on the product itself. Also, there's a provision for Wi-Fi, motion sensor, and time heating for drying. So with that being said, who wants to come aboard with the Time Saver?
Hold on, Eddie, before you go, are you from New York or New Jersey?
Of course, New York.
All right. Yankees or Mets?
Yankees.
All right, right on. All right, who needs Scott Hynd when you got a pitch like that? No.
Yeah, listen, can we mute him? Because he's gonna put me out of a job, man. I don't need talent like that stepping on me, man.
All right, who wants to go first?
I'll go ahead and
You go, Mike.
start off on this one. So Eddie, as you may know, I'm sure in your research, there's a lot of different floor dryers that are used, especially by professional floor companies. They have air dryers that are actually in the mop buckets, those types of things. And so how does it, and where it's so high up, and with it almost seems like it needs to be wall mounted. So what's the advantage of this system over all the ones that are currently being used in the industrial market today?
Okay, my unit with the patent, it allows the motor to be detached and make it portable once again. By my unit being mounted into a wall inside of a restroom, so on and so on, as patrons come into the restrooms, it automatically comes on to start drying the floor. The motor being up high reduces the noise and reduces the trip hazard of the unit being on the floor. Great for entryways.
Okay, so your primary use for this one and what you envisioned for it was one that sort of stays mounted permanently, I would say, in like public restrooms. And then it gives that person then the ability to then take the blower unit off, set it directly onto the floor if needed, but then having it both as a storage location for it as well as being able to run it while it's up on the wall. Is that correct?
Correct.
I wanted to just make sure I understood all the different, what were the features and benefits of it.
And Andy, do you have a background in this whole industry? Do you professionally, or is this a hobby for you? Or
no, I work in facilities in the hospital, and that's how this started. Came 3 years ago. We had a major flood like we have been today, and the idea came about. People running around with mop buckets and wet vacs and everything. And I said, if we strategically place these units at the point of use, they'll always be there. All you got to do is turn them on, and they help move air as well.
So always make sure, on your sell sheets, if you ever do a video, that you lead off with that. There was a suggestion earlier about how to present, and I think that's a big part of it because you have hands-on experience with this exactly.
Eddie, hey, Eddie, it's Scott. Real quick, I'm just going to talk quickly about your pitch because that's all I know about this product area. You are wildly entertaining, and you are very good at what you do. And take it from someone who's been doing it for 20 years on national television. You are really good, and I really just loved watching. Warren and all of us have done so many of these all over the world, and it's a lot of fun. But it's rare that someone gets up and genuinely entertains us, and you are entertaining as hell. The other thing, and what I love real quick, is the first rule of roadside beat sales is to put your best beats in front. So it's not lost on me that in camera left of your shot is your patent. Outstanding. I love it. That's pitching 101. Lead with your best stuff. I wish you the best of luck. Unfortunately, I don't play in that space, but you entertained the hell out of me.
Thank you.
May you not slip on the floor, Scott Hynd.
I hope his product prevents me from doing that.
Tom Gray, you here?
Yeah, job, Eddie. It's not my strength either. This category that you're working with. But what was your strategy? Was you going to go to the big players to try to license it, or you got a big item there in general for shipping purposes? What was your strategy for taking it to market?
Well, basically to license the product. Also, the ductwork is universal because if say a B-Air already has a fan out on the market, my ductwork, they can purchase the ductwork separately and turn their unit into a ducted unit. So it's an accessory as well.
And that's going to be key for you to identify. I mean, the key for you is to find the right company, the right people, the right, find that needle in a haystack, which is always hard for everybody. But trade shows, again, very, very important. I don't know if there's things regionally. Obviously, there's always an advantage being from New York because there's so much action in our area. So maybe you could do something locally. But that's your mission. That's what you got to find out.
I will say there are national trade shows because I go to them that are ones for this industrial cleaning market, and they have all the different like vacuum cleaners that are on your back and all of those different types of things. And actually, if you reach out to me after the meeting, I can give you the dates and which shows those are. And also the other part of this too is don't think about floor drying. I mean, of course, think about floor drying, but also think about wall drying. So whenever you have homes that have flooding, they always have to open up the walls and then run the blow dryers or these blowers out there to dry out the walls. So you should really make your endpoint reversible, where it can both go to the floor or it can be changed out and go to the wall, because that's a huge thing that has to take place. And it would actually be quite nice to get the blowers up off the floor and put them up on the wall whenever they're doing that floor drying.
Hey, Michael, could you give your email one more time? Could you just say your email? So.
Oh, sure. My email is michael.miller@NCHNancyCharlieHotel.com.
Well, that goes for everyone. So, hey, great job, Eddie Cross. Well done. Okay. And we're going to keep moving. We've got one more. We got one more that saved the latest and greatest for last. Eddie Turner. Eddie is a longtime veteran of the hardware show and of product development. Eddie, it's good to see you again. You are on, brother.
Best for last. That's a joke. All right, guys, I've got this revolutionary new hinge mounted clothes hanging thing. You ever wished you had a bigger closet? Are you tired of losing a deposit because you don't have enough because of damage to a door from similar products such as this? Plus similar products such as this, everything's hung over top of itself. This thing hangs directly to the door. You got a his and a her side. You can hang a whole week's worth of clothing for you and your wife. That'll help you in the morning so you can prep your clothes and have them ready. It attaches to the door through the hinge pin with a magnet that is removable, adhesive. So it's got a basket that you can put your belts and stuff in, or we're going to try to make something like this that would drape on both sides, where you could put pockets on both sides, so you could do whatever you want with it.
Hey, Eddie, open up that door while you're there. I want to see that door open up. Cool. That's pretty cool.
Works with the door or completely independent. You can also use it with a mirror. It's the only one you can use with a mirror. Every item is visible. Every outfit is visible because of the design. It really helps us. This one's been on this door we're using it for jackets and stuff now because nobody's really going to work too much, and but we use it for jackets. But if we were going from a 9 to 5, I'd have, we'd have our clothes there. They'd be ready for the next day. You'd know what you got, save you time in the morning. Your school kids, stuff like that.
Is it spring loaded, Eddie? Is that what, does it squeeze on the door?
No, it is not spring loaded. It just hangs from the hinge. Take a hinge pin out and it hangs from the hinge. It's magnetic. It attaches to the door right here with a
the adhesive. You said good. The adhesive on the door. Okay, got it. Thank you. Sorry.
Magnet right there.
What's the weight capacity for it?
40 pounds.
Okay.
And what do you think the price point, the retail price point?
I'm trying to get it around $30.
$29.99. All right. Cool. All right.
Hey, Eddie.
Go first.
Yes.
Eddie, does it break down into pieces for shipping, or does it come whole?
It folds together, but it does need. I mean, I've talked to several people like Lindsay and Lindsay Brooks, and we need to. It does need to try to break down somewhere for boxing, if it's going to be boxed, or if it can be hung, or depending on where it's sold and how it's made. And
I see it being a really good product for small hotels, Airbnbs. But more, I think I see Scotty Hynd selling this on QVC. Scott.
Oh man, I'll take the softball. Here we go. Yeah, I like it. It's a good product. It's a very, very popular category, but also a very crowded one. I'm sure you've done your research. I've not seen anything quite like this, though. It is interesting. I am very much with Tom. I think the backdoor question there is dim weight and shipping. It's steel, I believe, or metal, and to get that, I would imagine it is to get that kind of weight capacity. So then you get into weight and size, it comes down how much it collapses down, shelf space and that kind of stuff. But the idea is magnificent. The magnet, you've thought of everything, because I love that that adhesive magnet on the door. I think that's really brilliant. And then if you have a metal door, you're good anyways, who cares? But it is, it's really well thought out. And I love the idea that it doesn't do damage, because even ones I've seen and been a part of do damage to the top of the door. And it just doesn't look like this will be the case. As long as you don't hang 50 winter coats on it, I don't see any downsides. I think it's a really good product,
I'm going to echo those same sentiments, Eddie. I think you did a really, really nice job on this. And yes, this is a great category. This storage, and especially clothing storage category. And I would keep on iterate on this product as well, because I think there's some other changes that you can make to it besides of making it easier to store and those types of things. So I think you have some other opportunities for storage on the system itself as well. And so I would look very closely at that. And how
it seems like there'd be line extensions here, Michael.
Oh, absolutely. I can see where you could make it for a little bit more specific things. You could have, extra hangers up there on that top bar that goes across, or maybe even use that like tie storage or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of different variations and additions that I think you could make to this, definitely. I mean, I could probably rattle off about 15 SKUs to you right now of this product, which is great. I love products like that.
And Michael or Eddie, forgive my ignorance, is there an overwhelming percentage of bedroom doors that are the same size?
They generally, I'm sorry.
Overwhelming part of the market size.
This will handle a 30-inch door. Most bedrooms are 30-inch, and you can use it on your bathroom. You can use it, it works on a left or a right-hand door.
Sure.
Simply by swiveling around.
And not to push it, Eddie, I'm sorry, just when you say a 30-inch door, are you looking at 90% of the market? Is that overwhelming majority? Because what I'm getting is, would you have to ultimately produce two different sizes, or do you feel like that covers most everything?
It will fit any 30-inch door that Home Depot or Lowe's sells.
Okay.
And any up to a 36-inch door.
That's the predominant size of doors. And also in any home, you might have a couple of different door sizes, but you will have this size in the home.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, this is very common to be this size door.
My wife will take 4 of them, and we can move all the stuff she's hanging on her bureau right now.
And Eddie, what stage are you at right now?
I'm kind of looking for manufacturing somewhere I can, I'd like to make about 500 of them just to get out and test the market.
So you're in working prototype, obviously, but not manufactured sample.
No,
Okay.
This is a wood prototype I made.
Oh, okay.
I've also got metal prototypes.
Just so you know, Eddie, Carmine can help you with that. So.
Yeah, I talked to Carmine. Carmine's too big now. He's a TV star now. You can't.
He's got a green screen.
Yeah. He's.
Eddie, what part of the country are you in, Eddie?
We're in Sevierville, Tennessee, close to Knoxville.
And here I thought it was Boston.
I would bet you in that area of the country, there's a lot of sheet metal manufacturers, and especially ones that use a lot of bar stock. And you could easily get one of those guys, could easily go and fabricate this type of product, do up 50, do up 100, not cost you a whole lot of dollars. And that would be a great kind of product to bring like to the National Hardware Show, get a booth there, talk to the different people. I mean, really, that would be, even the International Home and Housewares, which is now the new name, but, a show like that, great
it's
product.
hard for me
Trevor Lambert. Can Lambert help him with this?
It's hard for me to do anything at the hardware show because we're there. I'm holding the patent on the Rhino cart. So, so that's
a legendary product. Yep. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool, Eddie. Well, great job, Eddie. I'd like to hear more about it too, actually, offline. If you have a chance, just shoot me an email. But hey, listen, that's a great finish. We've had 8 folks on today, all terrific.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, congratulations, everybody. Thanks, Kathy Kier, for putting this all together. Thanks to our hosts and our panelists, Scott Hynd, Michael Miller, and Tom Gray. Thank you, Carmine, for hosting.
Carmine, next time, try not to dominate this whole conversation like you did.
I'm just listening, man. It's awesome.
Let us get a word in edgewise, okay? I mean,
yeah, Carmine talks way too much. And thank you, Rich Russo, for coming on and for all that you do with Read Expo and running the hardware show. And we hope to see as many of you as possible who've been listening. They're still on at the September 1, 2, and 3 at the National Hardware Show, which will be in Las Vegas this September, 1, 2, and 3. We all hope to be there. So thanks, folks.
hey, Rich, real quick before I go, this is shameless and self-aggrandizing, and I know it, but the posters behind me are posters from places I've spoke at shows that I'm proud of. The one out of camera is your show about 7 years ago. So I want you to know that's how much I think about it and how proud I am of it. It's a great show. Hopefully we'll see you soon.
We need to have you back to speak.
I'd love to.
Wait a second, Scott, where is it? The one that you hid?
The one that I dusted off and hung up real quick in the break? Yeah, that one.
I thought there was a green screen behind you, too.
Thanks, guys.
All right,
guys. Be good.
All right. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Every
All right.
Thursday at 2 o'clock.
Great job, guys. It was awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, Kim Fox, too. Thank you.